Watch this video.
The poor you will always have amongst you. I've always wondered what Jesus saw that made him make that statement. You see, lately I've really been observing life, and the more I observe, the more I realize how frighteningly true that statement feels. This is a reflective video, so I may say some uncomfortable things about the human condition. Now, you see, us human beings have a very strange and interesting relationship with what we already know. We all know that reading books can change our lives. We all know that our bodies and our metabolism will be better if we exercise. We all know that money behaves differently in the hands of people who study it. We all know that some conversations can open entire realities and possibilities for us. Yet, there is something in us that keeps negotiating with tomorrow. There's always a reason to postpone. Why do we do that? And to be fair, sometimes the reasons are real. Life is expensive, the energy is low, there's too much going on, the future is uncertain. But let me tell you something that has been on my mind. I've been wondering, is it possible that the hardest outcomes in our lives are created by unattended decisions? Let me explain. There's a word in English called atrophy. It is the wasting away or the decrease in size of a body part or an organ or a tissue. Now listen for the interesting part. It is usually caused by a lack of use. Now, follow my thought process. I am wondering if atrophy isn't more natural than we care to admit, because I am realizing that there is something that we have completely misunderstood about time. We think time preserves things. Apparently not. Time actually reveals more what we have stopped tending to. Park a beautiful car here for the next 2 years without anybody or any visible force touching it, and you'll find that car completely deteriorated, a wreck. If nothing changes, nothing changes. And maybe that's why we need to pay closer attention to that statement Jesus made. The poor you will always have amongst you. Because I don't believe that people want lack. But then, intentionality is expensive. You know what I'm realizing? Maybe the opposite of poverty is not wealth. Maybe the opposite of poverty is intentionality. Because we have some people building with little, and there are some drifting even though they have abundance. Sooner or later, they will respectively have their report cards. Now, this isn't me talking at anybody. I'm in this conversation too. But if we know what reduces the possibility of lack, yet refuse the inconvenience of doing it, what exactly are we expecting? We will finish this video, we will sigh, and then we'll move on to the next, because tomorrow is another day, and indeed it is.
And I'm going to add this to this video. Wealth is about intentionality, especially if you are coming from a family that is not financially stable. You need to be intentional with your growth. You need to be intentional with your business. You need to be intentional with your career. You need to be intentional with your skills. Because when there's no family wealth to fall back on, your intentionality will become your inheritance. Nobody breaks the cycle of poverty by accident. They all break it through intentionality. So be intentional with what you invest every day in your life. Think about this. See you in the next video.